Good afternoon, my name is Alessandro Giudici. I'm a PhD student in strategy at Cranfield School of Management, and just today I submitted my PhD thesis, so I'm quite happy and relieved at the very end of my journey. So I was asked to address three main questions. First of all, why I chose Cranfield at the very beginning. Second, what kind of challenges I encountered during my PhD journey. And third, how the school basically helped me in getting through these challenges. So why did I choose Cranfield? I chose Cranfield because for three reasons. The first reason is because I really like the emphasis on the practical implications of research, because I was coming from the industry, so I didn't really want to start a process, which was purely theoretical. And in here at Cranfield, instead, all professors and all students are basically engaged somehow in research which can produce practical implications. And there is always somebody pushing you or asking you, what are your practical implications? And I like that emphasis. The second reason was the kind of community and research environment I met at the very beginning when I came to visit the school, because it's very friendly, very supportive. There is an outstanding research support. There is always somebody there to help you if you have a problem, and even the community of research is very helpful when you are demotivated throughout the process. So I like that kind of community and research environment. And third, because most students either have a business experience or research experience already, which means also that there is a lot of respect for freedom of research. So everybody is expected to deliver something when there is a deadline, but there is a lot of flexibility given to all researchers or students, because basically the school trusts you, and as long as you deliver, of course, what you are required to deliver. And I like that because I think research should be autonomous to an extent. And in terms of challenges, well, I had three main challenges. The first one is basically I'm not an English native speaker, as you can imagine, and so to understand how to deal with the literature, with a lot of literature, and how to write in a proper way in English, in academic English, which is even different, was a real challenge at the very beginning. And the school really helped me in two ways. The first one, through a structured process at the very beginning, during the first year, what they call the systematic literature review process, which is basically a step-by-step approach to deal with the literature. And so during the first year, I read a lot in a structured way, and I really learned how to manage the literature, which then paid off over time in terms of how I write my papers, because it's very easy now, much more easy now than at the beginning, to develop an argument based on the literature, because I'm very much grounded in the literature. And the second way was through my supervisor, because he always pushed me to deal with the literature in a proper way. The second challenge, which probably was the most relevant one, was access to data, because I was here to do empirical research, and I wanted to do both quantitative research and qualitative research. And I had many challenges, because I was working with an organization, but then they had some problems as a company, so it didn't work out very well. I had to find a second organization, it didn't work out very well. Finally, I found a third organization. So the process has been extremely challenging, because you need to start again. And on the one hand, the fact that I was extremely grounded in the literature really helped me, because my research question was extremely clear since the beginning, and it was relatively easy to understand whether the new context could help me to address that question or not. Second, my supervisor really, Professor Patrick Remoller, really was supportive. So every time I was a bit stuck and I didn't know what to do in a specific, while I was waiting for a manager to come back with a slot for an interview, he always engaged me with other activities which could complement my CV in terms of a bit of teaching, a bit of consultancy, a lot of writing for conferences and things like that. And so it really kept me motivated throughout the process. And also the school gave me a lot of opportunities for further training. So basically I didn't waste the time while I was waiting for new access. And at the end, I actually managed to find very good access, so very good access. And because I ended up with 81 in-depth interviews, and with entrepreneurs, and quite a lot of survey data. And so at the end of the day, also access was good. And the final challenge was how to learn how to deal with the publication process, which basically means you write your your own paper, the first draft you think is the best draft in the world, and then you submit the draft to somebody else, generally to a conference, and somebody who is anonymous comes back with a lot of negative comments the first time, and you start understand that you need to be a bit humble. I still have to learn a lot about that, and you start rewriting again and again and again. And you know, by doing it throughout the process, you learn how to improve. I learned how to improve my writing skills. And here my supervisor has been extremely supportive, always there to check what I wrote, to suggest new way of developing an argument, new way of framing, analyzing the data, for example. And the school as well was there to, well, with some funding for conferences, always supportive if I wanted to go somewhere to meet, to network with other researchers and so on. And the cherry on the cake was a visiting period as a researcher in the US, in one of the best schools in the US, because the school allowed me to go there, and I basically worked with a couple of extremely good US professors, and that really brought added further value to my papers, and now we got one publication already and 2 papers under review in extremely good journals, which basically became my PhD thesis at the very end. So at the very end, I'm quite happy, and I hope the Viva is in 1 month's time. I hope it will be okay. Thank you.